Hey guys, I just want to wait. I think this camera may be broken. Here, hold on. Let me fix it. No, that's not it. No, maybe cross these wires. No, maybe if I do this. There we go. Now we've got a working camera. So, yes, as you may have seen in my last video, there were some things that went on, and I'm not fully together. I did spend quite a few days away from video games and played a few games and felt a bit better. But now, I want to say thank you for your kind words. This is going to be a rough time for both me and my family for this, especially me, but I thank every one of you. And I wanted to do a couple things before I get on with this video. Number one is I'm upping the prize ante. If you guys want to know what, for 1,000 subscribers, now we have the Green Energy Hot Rod, and of course I'm going to get a second Australian wrench just for you guys. So you guys have a chance to win an Aussie wrench, and there's going to be a third prize where you'll get to have a voice chat with yours truly for 1 hour. You'll have a private mumble to use, and it'll be just one-on-one. And with these, you can ask for them to be gift wrapped. If so, you guys will have to provide the gift wrap so I can sign them for you. That's up to you. And for the hour voice, if you wish to, I can upload a private video of the whole chat, record it, so only you can see it, or anyone you want to see it. Or I can make it a public chat so everyone can see what me and you talked about, or I can just not record it at all, and that's up to your choice as well. So I hope everyone will get really pumped here for 1,000 subscribers. There's just going to be a couple basic rules I'm going to want in place, and that's you're going to need to be signed up in this Steam community group. There's always a link in the description. Go ahead, click. It doesn't require anything, just you go into your Steam, click I want to join group, you join, perfect. And second requirement is that you are a subscriber to the channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I'm really not interested in you, because you're more likely just here for the items and you're not actually here for the content, and then after you get the item you unsubscribe type deal. Not looking for that either. I'm looking for people who actually enjoy my content, enjoy learning stuff, enjoy engineer video gameplay of not just wrench to I'm going in with a sentry, I'm going to make it do some work. So those are some of the basic stuff. Next thing I want to discuss is the Steam community group activity. Each week I want to be able to award a player of the week, so I'm going to start putting up a challenge in the discussion board each week. It'll start on Monday and it'll end on Sunday night at midnight Central. That's US Central. So if you don't know the time zone difference in that, Google it. That's what Google's for. And it'll allow you to be awarded Player of the Week to the Steam community group. And with Player of the Week, I will actually add you to my friends list, where you will be put in a spot of Player of the Week along with a few other perks to it. And I'm hoping everyone will start to enjoy having a little challenge here or there to up their gameplay or see what they can figure out. It's not going to be the same thing. It's not going to require you to always record something. It's not going to require you to be the best at something. I just want to be able to see you put in effort and have the group come together. So with all of that in mind, I'm hoping all of you will enjoy this episode, and I'll hope you will enjoy everything here. Hey, welcome to today's episode. I'm going to actually do something that isn't gameplay. I'm going to go over the loadouts I actually like to use as engineer, and actually talk about why I use it. So I use all 4 slots, A, B, C, and D. I use all 4. That way it's just a quick press of my buttons and I can switch at any time. Now, these loadouts aren't what you may use, but these are what I use personally, and they work wonders for me. A loadout is my usual level 3 bomb bustin', where I take level 3 sentries on offense or defense, usually on offense, and put them up in your face. The Rescue Ranger I use so I can move around easier. I can heal my sentry if I need to. I can retreat with the sentry to at least cover an area, and it does minor damage, so it's not the best for attacking. I use a Wrangler so I can use my sentry as a weapon, or create it so if an Uber comes in I can actually defend my sentry with the Wrangler by doing the Sigafu save, which is named after Sigafu, who invented the tactic by taking your Wrangler, giving it a shell, putting it away to your wrench, healing damage, back to your Wrangler for more shield time, wrench, rinse, repeat till Uber's done, then use the Wrangler to shoot down the Uber target. It's also great for picking up enemies in the distance and pestering them. It's also great for if I want to get somewhere very high up or far away, and I can use my Rescue Ranger to pull my gun or dispenser with me. And lastly, my most infamous weapon, the Golden Australian Wrench, which I use quite frequently. It is a staple. I do prefer it over the Jag. However, it doesn't mean it's terrible or the best. It's what I prefer to use. You could prefer to use the Southern Hospitality for all I care. The wrench is what I use. It's stock. It can't be nerfed. It can't be buffed. It's there. It's great. It builds what I need built. It repairs. And it gets the occasional random crit against spies who try and zap my stuff. But it's also a great offensive tool. If someone gets in melee range, I can give them a smack for 65 damage, and if I crit, 195. Overall, this loadout is pretty fun for me. Traveling and doing something that people don't expect actually gets in their way quite a bit. So our B loadout is my Highlander Loadout. This is what I use on basic payload capture the point maps for Highlander. Rescue Ranger, Wrangler, and Southern Hospitality. Once again, the Rescue Ranger to repair damage and get my sentry or dispenser out if I really have time to get away and haul it with me. The Wrangler, once again, Sigafu save. It works wonders. If you haven't tried doing a Sigafu save, practice it. It's a great skill to learn as an engineer, and you'll love it. Now, for the Southern Hospitality, If you're not aware of competitive TF2, there are a few things that make competitive different from public games that anyone can enjoy. Number one, there's only 9 players, 6 players if you're playing 6v6, but 9, one of every class. 2, there is no random crits or damage spread, so every number is dead on accurate. So I take a melee swing on a public server, it can do anywhere from 48 to 70 some damage, whereas in Highlander competitive, it does dead on 65 no matter what. So what this does is it makes the Southern Hospitality a bit more lethal. Since there was no random crits to begin with, the on-hit bleed turns that 65 damage into a great number more. I believe it's 6 damage per second times 5, 30 seconds, 30 more damage onto 65 equals 95 damage through bleeding. On top of it, spies cannot cloak away from it unless they're dead ringing, and even then, if you get a second whack when their dead ringer goes off, you're going to be able to track them through the blood drops. It also teaches you not to be near pyros, but odds of you running into a pyro with this is they snuck around quite a bit, or your team's very horrible and you didn't have a sentry up and you actually deserve to be roasted alive. Personally, I will not carry around a Southern Hospitality into a public server while trying to set up level 3s. At least offensively. Defensively, I'll use it here or there if I know there's a lot of spies going on and I can catch spies who are cloaked. Overall, the Southern Hospitality does what it's intended to. It works well when you're playing competitive. You've got no random crits to begin with, so why not do some extra damage to offset the Rescue Ranger's lack of damage. Also, you'll note I do not use any of my unusuals. That's because I do not want to mark myself in Highlander as, hey, I'm over here, shoot me, right here, just shoot it. The third set I use is with the Widowmaker pistol and the Jag. Now, I just said I don't use the Jag. I don't use the Jag in certain ways. With this, I use the Jag in public games, and I use it to build level 1s, level 2s while I'm offensive. This set I like to call the Repossession, or the Repo Man. I have the Widowmaker, a deadly shotgun, especially if you got good aim, because everyone you shoot will react in metal back towards it. It takes 30 metal to shoot it, and if you get a full-on meat shot, you'll get more than the 30 metal back. With a Crits Creek, you wreck people. If you don't believe me, check out Sigafu's channel. He goes through with a Crits Creek, Widowmaker on a competitive match, and he wipes all 9 of the enemy team with just the Widowmaker itself, which is just crazy. But what I like to do is I can set down a level 1, go shoot people with my Widowmaker, come back, build it to a level 2, pick up, move, give my sentry the ability to cover me while I shoot more people with the Widowmaker. If I happen to run out of metal, I have my pistol to fall back on. Pistol, 12 shots, 200 reserve. Great backup weapon to have. Don't believe me? Try it. Go out and use none of your shotguns whatsoever and just use a pistol and a sentry gun, and you can see that the pistol is a great backup if you're not carrying your Wrangler or you don't want to carry the Wrangler. Now the Jag, there is a lot of controversy behind it. It says 30% faster construction rate. It's not really, it's actually 16%, which means you save 0.75% of building a sentry gun. That's not even a second. And in that 1 second, you could still die yourself. So that really doesn't help. And for your teleport and dispenser, it saves a second and a half, which is still not very exciting. When you redeploy, then that 30% construction rate actually does help from going from level 1 to level 2. And there is where it has to still not be the best. I'm not going to condemn you for using it. It's your choice on what wrench you want. However, it's not my personal one that I'll carry into Highlander. It just really isn't. And lastly, we have my Gunslinger Loadout, also known as the Annoyance. With this, I use a stock shotgun. Sometimes I will change it up to have my Widowmaker. I rarely use the Frontier Justice. I use the Frontier in a different way than most people would expect. You'd think using minis with it would be best, but actually using level 2 is actually a lot more deadly to rack up more crits. But it's a different video for another time. And I just don't carry the Thompson out. It's got 4 kills on it. You want to know why? I shot it 4 times. I never actually really purposely used the Thompson. I did it in the 100th video just to show you guys that I have fun sometimes just to goof around, but I really don't like carrying the Thompson. I don't like it used against me. I don't like using it against others. It's just too many upsides for 0 downsides. And you can't say that, oh, well, it's weaker is a downside. Well, I could say that about every weapon. If you don't aim it, it's worse. So, yeah, but a Widowmaker, great with this. You can use the Frontier if you want. Not my cup of tea with it. But a stock shotgun, good stable of an engineer. 6 shots, guaranteed. It's great damage. And if you get meat shots in, it really hurts someone, and you can really destroy people as an engineer with it. I can carry a pistol with me on small maps, and on bigger maps I will carry the Wrangler, because then I can take out sentries myself against engineers who aren't wrangling sentries to counteract my wrangling. So you can use a Wrangler if you want with this. Pistol is my choice, but it just depends on my map. And the ever controversial Gunslinger. One of the best weapons I've ever seen added to the game. I know people hate having them used against them, and people love using it itself. However, you gotta deal with it. It was put into the game, and it's actually quite viable for engineers who don't like moving up level 3s on offensive, or like supporting other engineers on defense. Always make sure there's a level 3 involved on defense before going to Gunslinger. Big thing you can do to help anyone with the Gunslinger is keep a sentry down. Doesn't matter if it gets destroyed. Why? Because in that 1 to 2 seconds it takes them to destroy that, that's 1 to 2 seconds that a spy, sniper, or any other class could have dealt with them before they come after you. It buys you time. With the Gunslinger, be expected to die, but at the same time, work on your fighting skills. Bring a shotgun and a pistol and a Gunslinger. And all you do the whole time, drop a mini sentry, and don't stand next to the mini sentry. Move away from it and fight someone. See how they react. Most people will either go for the sentry or for you. You are a decision maker. Not for yourself. You make others make decisions that are costly to them. If they don't deal with the sentry, they have to deal with you. If they deal with you, they have to deal with the sentry afterwards, which by then it's probably already killed them, or you've took a big chunk out of the health to have them killed by it. Overall, this set is great for offensive, subpar for defensive. I'll probably do a video of Gunslinger defense just to show you that it's not the best thing to have, but it is possible. It does cause a lot of confusion, just like a level 3 in offense to have a mini on defense. It's just there. And don't be afraid to try some of these loadouts that I've presented to you. Don't even be afraid to take them and mix them up. This is usually my standard. This used to be my standard. And I still will fall back to that anytime. A plain old shotgun on offense, it's still worth it. I can defend myself and only have to build up a level 1 or 2, and that's all I need. But with the Rescue Ranger, I can be a lot more creative. Just don't be afraid to try some of these. That's the point of being an engineer, is trying stuff. Find what works, what suits you. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different play style. Everyone finds playing different classes different. Don't be afraid to try new things as an engineer. Experiment. Using public games, you can experiment so much by different sentry placements, what works with that placement, what works best for you. If all you do is try and do what I do, you may not like it, because I actually am quite an aggressive engineer, whereas there's quite defensive engineers that won't move buildings at all and actually build up on last. Those ones I'm a little more disappointed in. I'm not so disappointed about the ones that build together. I just question of, do they actually understand what a demo man can do against 2 sentries sitting next to each other with a grenade launcher? But go ahead, try these. I'm sure you'll enjoy experimenting with some of my loadouts. And don't forget, we have a Steam community group in the description. You can follow me on Twitter through there. You can ask me questions through it. Comment below. Share this video. Like, subscribe. We're here. We're a family. We're engineers. We want to learn engineer. We want to have some fun. So I thank you all for watching again. Let's build something in the next one.